Hello my nerd musician friend, in this video I'm gonna show you how you can build your Traktorino. The Traktorino is a low-cost DIY MIDI controller for DJs. It can actually control any software that accepts MIDI, like Traktor, Serato, or even Ableton Live. The Traktorino is completely open source, which means that you can download all the files for schematics, enclosure, and the code so you can build one yourself. So if you want to support this channel, please go there and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't do yet, give a like and share with your friends. And if you want to build your Traktorino, you can buy one with us. This way you help that more projects like that can become a reality. Okay, so let's get started. What do you need? One Traktorino PCB, 11 B10K Rotary potentiometers, 3 B10K slide potentiometers, 2 CD4067 multiplexers, 3 74HC 595 bit shifters, 13 tactile buttons, 24 220 ohms resistors, 1 1K resistor, 11 blue LEDs, 10 green LEDs, 2 yellow LEDs, and 2 red LEDs. The list of all the parts for the Traktorino are in the video description below, so take a look there and let's jump right away to how to build it. So let's start with the electronics. There's no right order to assemble the controller, but I think it's easier to start with the shorter components, and you see why. So let's start with the 220 ohm resistors. A resistor have no polarity, so it doesn't matter its orientation. However, I like to put them all in the same orientation, so the PCB just look nicer. So, insert all the resistors all the way through the PCB. Note that just this resistor needs a different value, so put a 1 to 5K ohm here. Turn your board and spread the legs of the resistors so they don't fall out. Now you start soldering. After you are done with soldering, get a wire cutter and trim the resistor's legs. The next step is soldering the Arduino pin headers in the PCB. This is the only part where we will be soldering in the top of the PCB. So, connect all the headers in the Arduino Uno and snap in the PCB. Solder one leg. Now, let's make sure that the Arduino is aligned. While we heat the solder, we align the Arduino and keep some pressure. This way we can solder all the rest of the legs without worrying that the Arduino will be bent. Next, we will assemble the multiplexers and bit shifters. It might be hard to snap them in the PCB, so I always bend the legs inwards to make it easier. They have to be in the exact orientation, so make sure that the orientation of the component matches the footprint in the PCB. Then, turn the PCB over and solder all the legs. Now, it's time for the LEDs. LEDs have polarity, so make sure you always put the short leg, which is the ground leg, in the square terminal. If you do this wrong, the LED won't light up. Put all the LEDs all the way through and bend the legs, like you did with the resistors. It's important that all of them stay aligned, so we will solder just one leg of each LED first. After you soldered one leg of each LED, you will align each of the LEDs individually by applying heat in the soldered leg in one side, and with your other hand you will align it to the right position. After they are all aligned, you can solder the remaining legs. And to finalize, trim the LED's legs. Now, let's go to the next step. Let's work with the tactile buttons. It might be hard to snap them in the PCB, so I usually bend the legs inwards so they fit easily. Buttons don't have polarity, but they have a specific orientation in the PCB, which is really obvious. Then, just solder all the legs. Now, it's time for the slide potentiometers. They're pretty straightforward to snap in the PCB. Then, it's time for soldering. The rotary potentiometers should snap firmly in the PCB. After they are all connected, you know what comes next. And last but not least, we'll solder the rotary encoder, which looks like a normal potentiometer but has extra 2 legs. So, great job! You finished soldering your Traktorino. Now, it's time to upload the code to your board and test to see if it's everything working. So, see you next video.